Hi, this is Kanaya, and we're starting. Today is January 11th, and we're gonna stick on to the yellow. So you chain two, and do our granny spike stitches. So this is gonna be a row repeat for row one for our granny spike stitches. So now we're gonna talk about how do you deal with customers. So once you went to the interview, show them your resume of your work past experience, and you told them the reasons why you want to work, why you want to go to work, and then once you met with the interviewer, whether it's a male or a female, then they start to hire you. So all of that is mission accomplished. So now let's say you go to work. So let's say it's your first day of going to work. So let's say you go into work on the first day and you don't expect to see that many customers. So they might ask you for something. They might ask you where something is and where something is, and or do you have something that is available. So some things you do want to look out for as a worker. So let's say you're the worker, and then you get to meet your workers on the first day. So let's take a back step for a second. So let's say you go to the job on your first day and you get to meet all these employees plus the manager, and you don't know everybody that's working at the job, plus except for the one that you already met at the interview. So you don't expect to get to know everybody, and on the first day or the second day you might meet them next week or the week afterwards. So before we get to the customer style, I want to talk about how do you get to know your employees, because that's really important to know. So you might ask them for their name, or you say, for first you have to introduce yourself, like, hi, my name is so and so, what's your name? And they'll tell you their name, and they'll tell you everything that you do, everything that they do. So jobs do matter, but the fact is you haven't gotten no experience yet. So now that, but the other workers got experience, so now they know how to do the job, but you don't know how to do the job. So how you expect to know what everything is if they don't show you how to do a job? So the first thing when you come in from so let's say it was on your first day of work, and I don't really know much about this job. So on the first day, they might teach you some stuff, or they might show you everything that is going on in their job. Like, some people might do the cash register, Some people might be stocking. Some people might do throwbacks. Some people might push carts outside, push carts outside, or they might do packaging, or some people might be doing jobs that you might not get, that you might get some experience and something you might know how to do, or let's say, or jobs you might be similar to the jobs that you did in previous jobs. Like, so some jobs you kind of like get familiar with it, kind of get familiar. So, so either way, I know a lot of jobs can be very easy. Oh, I know how to do this, or I know how to do that job. So now, once they teach you how to do a job, then you fully get the full understanding of how to do the job. So that way we don't get nervous or get confused on what to or how to do. So let's see how to get to know employees. So so here are some ways to get to know your employees. Like ask questions. Like you can ask them, well, ask them what their name is, or you can do. They might introduce their name to you. Oh, my name is so and so, and I work for blank. Or so they might tell you what they are, what they're working on. So you can ask like so you can ask questions like you ask your employees 4 questions about their interests, hobbies, or and goals. You can ask these questions in meetings to help you understand each person better. So you're trying to get to know them better or what they like to do. It's kind of similar when you meet new friends and you don't know them or you don't know what their interests are or hobbies and goals are. You don't know what their interests are yet unless you really meet them to get to know what they're doing or what they're experiencing. So that way you'll get to know who the employees are and what they like to do. So that's the first step that you gotta take to get to know your employees. It says celebrate milestones. Celebrate your employee's birthday, work anniversary, and other personal achievements. This can help a creative sense of community and appreciations. So either like when it's their birthday is coming up, or their anniversary is coming up, or their achievements. So whenever their birthday is coming up, we can just wish them a happy birthday or a happy anniversary. Or some people might get gifts for their employees for their birthdays, anniversaries, and other personal activities. So that's nice to celebrate their birthdays. Or they can do a retirement party. Like if the employees are in, or the employees are about to retire, then yeah. So even if they've been working for a long, so even if when they was work, well, even if they was working for a long time, they might do a little retirement party like, let's just say, because they've been working for a while and it's time for them to retire. Host social events. Host social events outside of the office to get to know your employees in a more casual setting. So you might do this outside of work where you guys can go out to eat and or go out to a birthday party. Like, it's different places that you might go to hang out with your employees. Praise your employees. Show your employees that you're interested in them as people. This can encourage them to work harder and feel appreciated. So 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 now, once you get to know your employees, and now you're showing them that you're willing to work for them and making sure that the job is done. So it's kind of a little bit different. I know it's a little bit different explaining how it goes in a work setting as opposed to the interview. Interview, you have to you have to answer questions what the interview is asking. It says build strong relationships. A strong relationships with your team is important. If your employees trust you, they will be likely or they will be more likely to work harder and stay happy. So if you're getting along with your employees, then they might work together to make the job go to get done faster. So so yes, so it's good to have teamwork as employees. So 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 let's say you want to get to know your employees. So we talked about asking questions and what do you know about your employees. So you might ask them, what are your personal goals? So let me so so you might ask them, what are their personal goals? So 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 let's see examples. Examples at work. So so they might tell you that their personal goals might be learning a new skill, improving communication skills, enhancing time management, like taking on new responsibilities, expanding your personal network, achieving a promotion, development leadership abilities, mastering industrial knowledge, and striving for better work life experience. So they might give you all these answers that they might give you answers based on your question that you ask him. Let's say you let's say you let's say you talk to an employee, whether it's a male or a female. Like, so skill development may be like becoming proficient in a new software program, mastering data analysis techniques, gain expedite in project management. So, improving communication skills like working how to communicate with people and like working to like communicate with people and always be open to or be open to communication or something that you might do. So these are examples that you might ask him at a job that you want to get to know them. So now you can, so the second question that is asking, what was your first job? So let's see what answers can they come up with as your questions. So so now you ask them what were their personal goals. So now you can ask them what was your first job, because anybody who can list a job that they did, so at so they might say examples. So they might tell you their first job was working was a they was working as a cashier at a grocery store. I worked at, so let's say you asked them, what was your first job? And they might say, my first job was at a cashier at a grocery store. I worked as a fast food crew member at McDonald's. I was a lifeguard at a local pool. I babysat for families in my neighborhood. I delivered newspapers in my area. I worked as a stock person at a retail store. Or I was at a library assistant shoveling books. So they might give you answers based on that question. So I'm not really telling y'all what I did at my first job. I'm just giving y'all examples of what they might tell you at work. So it says key points to remember when discussing your first job. Be specific. Mention the company's name and the role you held if possible. Even if the job seems simple, empathize the skills you learn like the customer service, time management, or responsibilities. So it's called highlight transferable skills. So you have to emphasize the skill you learn like customer service, time management, or responsibilities. When you're sharing your first job with someone, so it says share positive experience. Talk about what you enjoy about the job and the lessons you learn. So when they mean by that, they mean like talk about what you did in your past working experience and where you worked at, so they'll know what you did at your last job versus what you're doing on this job. Like the interview, they ask you, what did you do at your last job, and what was the purpose of you leaving your last job? So now it says, what's your top professional accomplishment? So now, so now they might tell you Oh, so remember, we have to state the answer that's in the question. So it says, what was your top accomplishment at work? So you can say, my top accomplishment at work could be exceeding sales target, successfully launching a new product or initiative, significantly improving operational operational efficiency, leading a complex project to completion, mentoring junior colleagues, receiving industry awards or development and implement or innovative solutions to a critical problem with your company. So that's the part. So that means they will have answers based on the question that you asked them. So just so you know, you're new to the job and you really don't know everybody and what they do or what's going on. So yeah, so now you ask 3 questions so far about your employees' work experience. So it's kind of similar to work at work. So let's see, improved teamwork. So it's kind of like a statement. It's not really a question, but we'll see. So isn't so now so it's kind of like a statement, like when you communicate with somebody and you're working together to get the job done faster. So it says, what energizes you at work? Let's see. So it says, what energizes you at work? So now we can, so they might say that there are many things that can energize you at work, including a sense of purpose, meaning like feeling connected to the purpose of your work and how it contributes to a larger goal, increase your energy and satisfaction, which we talked about yesterday. Recognition. Receiving recognition for your performance can give you a sense of job security, encourage you to do your best. So we always have to be happy, in a good mood, and working well with others. So a supportive team. A positive and supportive team environment can energize you and help build a strong company culture. Learning. Learning something new or finding innovative solutions can energize you. So let's say you don't know stocking as much, but the other workers, they did stock work, like they stock up the merchandise or they stocked up the food and drinks. So you never know what they you never know what they do, or you never gonna know how to handle it unless they really show you what is supposed to be, how to do it and what's it's supposed to be done. So well so sometimes it takes a little time getting to know them and getting to know the job. So let's see, professional growth, embracing new challenges and aiming for career growth can help you keep you engaged and motivated. mentoring others, leading and mentoring others can be energizing. Competitive compensation, feeling like your efforts are rewarded fairly, can be a great motivator. Like some other things that can energize you at work, including working with great people, having fun, having flexibility, and staying curious. So, so now that you know what energized them at work and what they can do, what they do to be energized, so now we can say, what's your favorite task at work? So, some of these questions a lot of people might ask at work to get to know their employees. So so depending on their job task, they might tell you they brainstorm new marketing campaign ideas, conducting in-depth research for a complex project, like mentioning new team members, present their findings to senior leadership, solving challenging customer problems like just in case if the customer was giving you a hard time, like just in case if the customer was giving you problems, or if they have an issue with the product or the order, they might ask for assistance. Or so remember, when dealing with customers who have dissatisfaction, you have to keep it as calmly as possible. We don't wanna we don't wanna yell or lash out at them. So we have to keep it cool, calm, and collective when we dealing with a customer. So it says designing creative visuals for a project, writing engaging content, or directly interact with clients to understand their needs. So, customer clients, it could be the same thing. So, it says key points to consider when choosing your favorite task. So, highlight your skills. Choose tasks that showcase your strength and areas of expertise. Focus on the positive impact. Mention how the task contributes to the team or company goals. Be specific. Provide concrete examples of tasks you enjoy and why. So let's say, so that means that each and every one has the opportunity to discuss their favorite task. So let's see. So, for example, you might be filling answers to filling. You might be filling the answers to filling answers to telephone, taking messages, attending to visitors, processing emails, or photo photocopying and preparing simple documents such as letters, mentos, and minutes. Because when you so so that way, yeah. So some people, yeah. So now some people prefer to work with customers because it feels like it's a good task for them. the reason why they interact with customers because they want to meet the customer satisfaction, or they want to help customers get meet their expectation of wants and needs. So that's why working with customers can be a challenge. So that way they won't have to work alone and feel like they by themselves. So that's why they work with people who have communication skills and willing to talk to each other when they have a problem. So if there's a problem that they can't handle, they go to somebody else. Like they go to the manager, assistant manager. It all applies. So now you got to know the employees and what they did in their past working experience. So now let's see how to get to know your jobs. So if you want to learn how to do a job, so it says to efficiently listen to employees when they're showing you how to do a job. You pay close attention, ask clarifying questions, at which I'm gonna give you some examples of what you might ask them when they show you how to do a job. So keep that in mind when they show you how to do a job. You must listen, pay close attention, no talking involved. So it says pay close attention, ask clarifying questions, active activity actively engage back with verbal and nonverbal cues. Repeat key points back to them to confirm understanding, and avoid interrupting until they finish explaining a step. So when they teach you how to do a job, you can't overtalk them or exaggerate, because you're not going to know how to do a job and they're going to say, so I wasted my time showing you how to do a job and listening to the directions I'm giving you when showing to do a job. So yes. Essentially, practice active listening techniques to fully grasp the process, demonstrates, repeat, their expedite. So once they show you how to do a job, then you're able to try it. So it says key strategies to implement. It says focus on the task at hand, minimize distractions, and give the employees your full attention while they are demonstrating the job. Ask clarifying questions. If someone is unclear, don't hesitate to ask questions to gain a deeper understanding of the process. Use nonverbal cues, like nod your head, like retain eye contact, and use phrases like uh-huh or yes to show you're following along. Summarize key points. Peri- period peri- 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 periodical periodically paraphrase the steps the employees have explained to ensure you're on the same page. Take notes. Jot down important details, especially technical specification or crew secret to reference later. Avoid interruptions. Avoid interrupting. Let the employee finish their explanation before asking questions or offering feedback. Express appreciation. Acknowledge the employee's time and expertise by thanking them for showing you the process. So once you get to know how to do a job, then you'll be able to practice and get the hang of it, because the fact that you were showing good active listening and you showed them and you nod your head and you showing that you was paying attention. So keep in mind of the employees when teaching. So if you don't do that, then they're not going to be able to learn, or they're not going to be able to teach you because you're over talking them. So that's why it's important to listen. So it says, what questions can you ask the employees when they show you how to do a job? So if you're not sure, you can be like, why is this step important? You can say, why is this step important? Or what are the potential? It says, why is this step important? So they might say, so the reason why we're doing this is because we want to know why. Or they might explain, why are they doing this? Or why are they showing you the best technique of doing a job? So it says, this step is important because it lays the foundation for the entire process by ensuring everyone involved has a clear understanding of the issue at hand, its goals, and the parameters within which to operate, preventing potential misunderstanding and wasted effort by setting a defined direction from the beginning. So the reason why they explain the steps to them, because they want everyone to understand the importance on how to do a job. So it's always good to listen out to what is being done to the job. So key reasons why this step is critical. It identifies the real problem. So by clearly defining the problem, you can avoid addressing superficial system. Instead, focus on the root cause, leading more effective solution. Set clear expectations. So let's say let's say an employee was misunderstanding the steps and they're unsure. They might ask them to reteach them. So that's the part of the process. So it says, what are potential pitfalls to watch out for? So it says, so they might ask, the potential pitfall to watch out for including rushing into decision without considering all aspects, overconfidence into one's knowledge, failing to know from past mistakes, neglecting to gather sufficient information, biased perspective, assuming correlations, equal causations, poor communication, not adapting to changing circumstances, and overlooking potential risks or negative consequences. So essentially, anything that could lead to poor decision making, or negative outcome in a given situation. So they might not, so they might be able to answer that question from the start. So, so, so sometimes, so sometimes they might do is rush into decision without considering all aspects. So they might be unsafe person in a work job that can be doing legal things. So we wanna be considerate. Yes? Hold on, I'm coming. So now back to this. So now we answered what are the potential pitfalls to watch out for. So the third question is, what happens if I make a mistake here? So even though the reason why we going through this, so you know what to do at work. So when they show you how to do a job, so you won't get as nervous or fragile. So we just want to be more mindful of that. So let's see examples. So if you make a mistake at work, depending on the severity of the error and company policy, potential consequences could include a verbal reprimand, reprimand. So including a verbal reprimand or reprimand. So let's see what this is. A reprimand from your manager. So a verbal reprimand from your manager, needing to rework the task to correct a mistake, a temporary impact on your performance review, or in extreme cases, disciplinary actions like a written warning or even a job termination, especially if the mistake caused significant financial loss or damage to the company's reputation. So it says, example scenarios, minor mistakes. If you accidentally misspell a name on an email, your manager might simply point it out and ask you to double check details in the futures. Moderate mistakes. If you miscalculate figures on a critical report, you might be asked to redo the calculations and potentially receive feedback on your attention to detail. Serious serious mistakes. If you send out confidential information to the wrong recipient or recipient, or if you send out confidently. Yes. All right. So which part am I up to? serious mistake. If you send out confidential information to the wrong recipient due to a entry error, this can lead to a formal disciplinary discussion with your manager and potentially require additional training on the data handling protocols. What if you do if you made a mistake? If you make a just in case, what to do if you make a mistake? Acknowledge your error immediately. Inform your manager as soon as you realize the mistake. Take responsibilities. Don't make excuses. Explain what happened and how you plan to rectify the situation. Focus on solutions. Proactively work to correct a mistake and minimize any negative impact. Learn from the experience. Reflect on what caused the error and identify steps to prevent similar mistakes in the future. Or the manager might notice that you made a mistake, so they might come and help you if you made a mistake. But it's okay to make a mistake once in a while. But again, it's good. You have to. It's good to learn from your mistakes and not happen again. 'Cause everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is going. Everybody's going to make a mistake someday. But we have to learn from our mistakes and move on, so mistakes won't happen again. So mistakes don't happen again. So it says, so now we're going to move on to the next question. So now we answered what happens if you made a mistake. So now, what are the key quality checks to perform? So it says, so let's see. So at work. So it says the key quality checks at work include through inspection of products or serving agents, established standards, accuracy, completeness, consistently, functionality, adherence to standards, compliance with policies, customer feedback, timelessness, documentations. So these are answers these are my answers they might give you. They might explain what they are. So now I might explain what they are in the video. So accuracy, double checking calculations, data entry, and information to ensure correctness, completeness, confirming all necessary steps or elements are included in a task or project. Consistencies, check order university informing style, and formatted style, and applications across documents or processes. Functionality, testing features and operating of a product or system to ensure they work as intended. Adherence to standards, compare work against established quality guidelines or industry regulations. Compliance with policies policy let's see, compliance with policies, verifying that compliance with policies. And so now we answer how to prioritize tasks when you have multiple things going on. Let's see. No, not so. How do you prioritize tasks? No. So let's see. So to the key quality checks are accuracy, consistency, expression, documentation, seeking integrity, testing, define quality standards, quality audits, training, and education. So that's what all key quality checks are. So now we're going to go on to how do you prioritize tasks when you have multiple things going on. So so they might give you they might say that when you have things going you when you have like multiple things going on at work, they might say yes, so they might say to prioritize tasks when juggling multiple work responsibilities are create a comprehensive list of all tasks, then assesses each one based on urgency and importance. Focus on the most critical items first. Use tools like the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize tasks. Delegate where possible, break down large tasks into smaller steps, and to regularly review your priorities to adapt changing situations. So, example scenarios like, for example, like meeting a tight meeting a tight deadline on a key project while managing smaller ongoing tasks. So it says prioritize the critical project tasks by dedicating specific time slots to them each day while fitting in smaller tasks during breaks or less demanding periods. Handling urgent clients' requests alongside routine element and um making a dedication specific time to one schedule routine tasks throughout the day to ensure they are completed consistently. Collaborating on a team project when managing your individual workload. Clearly define your responsibilities within the team project. Allocate dedicated time slots for collaborative work, and schedule individual tasks around those collaborative sections. So, these are my examples that they might give them when they prioritize tasks when you have too much going on and you can't do a lot at one time. So sometimes, like during work, they have like a rush hour when you have multiple things going on, and it's overwhelming. You have to deal with customers and you have to do a lot of work. So they might do an urgency. It's a lot going on sometimes during work, and people have so much to do that they can't really don't have really time to do, because so once the job gets busy, then they get more money because from them working hard. So it says the next thing you might ask when showing to do a job is, can you explain this process in a different way? Or they might explain it in a different way that you might, or they might explain it in a different way that you understand, or because sometimes they might say, oh, this is how you do it, or this is how. So, so imagine, so let's say, imagine you're explaining how to make a cup of coffee at work, but instead of saying add water to the coffee grounds, you might say pour the liquid from the water dispenser into the coffee container with the coffee beans. This is an essential of explaining a process in a different way by using different wording while still conveying the same steps involved. Here are a few work examples of explaining a process differently. Project management. Standard explanation. Create a detailed project plan, assign tasks to team members, track progress regularly, and host statute meetings to ensure deadlines are met. Alternative explanation. Map out the project roadmap. Delegate responsibilities to individuals, monitor project progress using a project management tool, and have regular check-ins to stay on track. Customer service, sales process. Key points to remember when explaining a process differently. Audience. Tailor your language to the level of understanding of your listener. Context. Consider the specific situation and what information is most relevant. Clarity. Ensure the new explanation is clear and easy to follow, even if the wording changes. So instead of you using your alternative explanation, you can use your standard explanation to explain them in a way that is easier to understand. So up here you say, so instead of you using your alternative explanation, which meaning add water to the coffee grounds, but instead you might use your standard explanation saying pour the liquid from the water dispenser into the coffee container with the coffee beans. So it's an easier way that they might tell you how to do it, so at least you'll understand. So it says, what are the most common challenges you face when doing this task? So it's a difficult question to ask, but I'll give you examples of what they might say at the so now you ask the question, what is the most challenging that you face when doing the task at work? So when discussing common challenges faced while performing a work task, the most frequently cited issues included poor communication with colleagues or clients, inadequate training, lack of clarity or expectation, time constraints, managing conflicting priorities, dealing with unexpected changes, insufficient resources, and navigating interpersonal conflicts, all of which can significantly impact the quality and efficiency of completing the task at hand. So, so sometimes they might have a difficult time dealing with these type of challenges that they're going through at at work, and sometimes people have to work through these challenges, and that way that they'll understand how you overcome it. It's not what you're dealing with, it's how you overcome it, because anything could happen at work. Like, it can be poor communication skills, it could be mistakes happening, it could be busy, it can be a lot of stuff that goes on. So the last question you might ask, is there anything else I should know about this procedure? They might say yes, or they might say no. So, so, so now they might say this. So they might say, so when asking, is there anything else I should know about this procedure at work? You might be looking for additional details like specific deadlines, who to contact for questions, potential exceptions to the rule, specific deadline, who to contact for questions, potential exceptions to the rule, required forms to fill out, necessary salary precautions, or any unique aspects of the procedure that might not be immediately obvious. Essentially, anything that could help you execute the procedure smoothly and correctly. So, they might teach you a little bit more about this process, or they might say, no, you're good. So these are the questions you might ask when showing how to do something. So once you ask the questions on how to do a job, then you ready to get the hang of it, or you ready to do a job. So now it's okay to be unsure if you don't know how to do it, or you don't know how to do, or you forget how the process go. So now you ask questions when they show you how to do it, or how this process go. So now you working on a job and you're getting the hang of it. What if a customer asks you where something is, or what if a customer asks you for something and you're helping that customer get to where they need to go to get the stuff. So now you got a job at working at a place. You don't know where it is, but you got a job. So you walk into the job, you got to know your employees, and then you got yourself settled for the job. So now there are jobs available at the workplace, and they showed you how to do a job. So now you working at a job, and the customer asks you if they need something. So you might say, is there anything I can help you with, or is there anything that I can help you? So you might ask that question, or they might ask for you for something. So we just gotta see what the customer might ask employee. So they might ask. So the customer might ask, what is the difference between this model and the previous one? So you might say, so let's see, for example, so at least you might give them the answer. So it says, so you might say, the previous one is that this model incorporates new features and improvements, potentially including a better performance, enhanced functionally, a refined design, or updated technology compared to the older version without specifying the exact nature of the changes without more context about the product or system being discussed. So they might say the new one, or they might say the new one is better than the old one. So now so the next question they might ask is, do you have this item in a different color? So you might say yes or no. So so we just gotta look out for this answer. So they might say, do you have this item in a different color? So they mean like, if they asking like, is this color available or is available? Or you can say, these examples might ask if a specific item is in a different color than the one currently displayed. So which is the instant of the question, do you have this item in a different color? So you might say yes, it might be available, or you can tell them, I'm going to have to check to see if the item is in that color. So the question might ask, how did this product, so they might ask, how did this product work? So you might say, so the way that you might explain it is, so let me see how we can answer this question, because it may be ways to answer this. So so you might explain to them like how it works or how it uses. So you might clearly state the primary purpose of the product and what it does, or briefly explain the key technology that enables the product's functionality. Describe how users interact with the product, whether through the app voice, commands, or physical controls, or you can say highlight the main features and benefits that set the product apart. So let's see what product is by itself. So you can say the product is manufactured or it's refined for. So you might say a product is manufactured, or you might say the product can be a service or item. Well, no, that's not the answer to your question. So, or you can say, so, so to answer their question, I'm gonna say, how is the product used? So, so the pro, so the product. So you can say the product is used. The way the consumer interacts with a product, including the frequency, duration, and context of its uses. Essentially describing how many people utilize the product to achieve their desired outcome. This information is often gathered through the user data and analysis and analytics to understand customer behavior and improve product design. So you might give them answers to support their question. So it says key points about product usage, data collection. Information on product usage is typically collected through analytics tools, user surveys, and customer feedback, which can track actions like clicks, features, uses, and login frequency. Insight gained by analyzing product usage data, businesses can understand how users engage with their product, identify areas for improvement, and optimize features to better meet customer needs. So you might tell them so the way that the customer uses product, or they might use it for different reasons. So that would give them the answer on how this product is used. So 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 they might ask, can you help them with something, or would you recommend for, or do you have any similar items to it, or what is the benefits of buying this product? That's a good question. Well, let's see how it works. So let's see how it works. So you might say the benefits of buying this product include increased comfort and breathability due to its natural cotton material, a soft feel against the skin, potentially for longer durability compared to the synthetic fabrics, low maintenance care, and the ability to regulate body temperatures. So they, so that, so 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 the benefit of a product by itself is the positive outcome or value that a customer receives from using a product or service. There are reasons why customers buy product, and they are typically communicated through marketing messages and product descriptions. So it says, what are your reasons for buying this product? 8 reasons why customers buy products: because they want it, or pride, or this is probably the simplest reasons, like protection, fear, ease of life, ease of daily life, impulse, fear of missing out, health, aspiration, did other customers like it, limited editions. So there might be reasons why customers want to buy the product. So it depends on the product, or depending on how much it is. So they might ask how much it is this, or or this item currently in stock, or when will this item be back in stock? Or you could say they might ask, can I use a gift card for this purchase, or what is your return policy? So some of these questions might be a yes or no, or some of these questions might be a little bit of an explanation. So it says, do you have any discounts or promotions on this product? Let's see what this question is about. Because there might be questions that they might ask you. So if you don't know the answer to the question, you might contact your as a manager or your assistant manager. So it's okay if you're not sure what they're asking you. That's why the reason why they be going through a lot of these questions and stuff. So you might say, currently we're offering a 15% off discount on this product for new customers, or buy one get one free deal if you want to purchase two. So sometimes they might offer a discount on a product that they might buy on this product. So, or they might offer free shipping online. So it says, so back to this question. So it says, what is your return policy? They want to know, what is this return policy works? So it says, a return policy is a set of rules that outline how and when the customers can return or exchange products or service. So they might give you a refund if you return the stuff that you bought or you return. So that's what it is. So that's what how it works. So you might say, at a company's name, we offer a 30-day return policy for most items purchased in store or online, as long as they are in the original packaging and condition with a valid receipt. So you can return the items for a full refund, exchange for a different product, or receive store credit. However, certain items like personalized products or open software may not be eligible for returns. Please check with our customer service team for specific details on any exceptions. So they might let you know upfront how their return policy works. So I don't know how their return policy works in certain stores. So some stores might offer a 30-day returns, or a 30-day policy. So So it says, can I use a gift card for this purchase? They might let you use a gift card for the purchase, or or something like this. So now it says, how do I set this up? So you might not know the answer to this question. So sometimes we do know the answers to some of the questions, but not every question has to be an explanation. So it's good to getting to know the questions that they might ask. Yep, so I don't know how do I set this up? Or how do I set up the purchase process of these? Cause how do I set up the purchase process? So to set up a purchase process, you need to first identify the need for a product or service, then research and select a supplier, negotiate terms, obtain necessary approval, create a purchase order, receive the goods and service, and finally review and approve the invoice. Ensuring the process outlines with your company policies and includes steps for tracking and quality control throughout. So, key steps in setting up a purchase process: identify the need, define requirements, supplier research, request for quotations. So these are all things that you should do when setting up your purchase process. So they might give you an explanation on how to set up your purchase process. So the last question you might ask, do you offer free shipping? So they might say yes, or they might say no. Cause free shipping, you have to really charge them for shipping. You don't have to give them free shipping if you don't want to. So it says, whether or not you offer free shipping depends on your business profit margins and other factors. So profit margins, you can't afford to offer free shipping for every product, especially if the cost of shipping is higher than the product's prices. Customer expectations. 75% of the customer expect free shipping on all orders. Inspect on sales. Free shipping can increase sales, encourage repeat business, and decrease cart abandonment. Impact on bottom lines. Offer free shipping can hurt your bottom line if it's not done well. So here are some things to consider when deciding whether to offer free shipping. Calculate extra sales. Determine how many extra sales you'll need to make up for the reduced profit per order. Consider the endowment effort. Customers may feel like they already own the product, which increases its perceived value. Consider loss aversion. Customers may feel like they're losing something or if they have to pay for shipping. Considering shipping speed, more than 80% of the U.S. shoppers say shipping costs and speed are major factors in their buying decision. Offer free shipping as a referral park. You can reward existing customers and reach new customers by offering free shipping to customers who refer new customers. So they might say yes, they offer free shipping, or no, they don't offer free shipping. So sometimes they have to charge you for shipping. You can't get upset about it or moat about it. You can just say they're gonna let you know that you're gonna have to pay for free shipping for shipping. So yeah, so not every store is like that, but some of these stores will allow you to give free shipping. So now, once they ask you questions about the product or how this place is gonna go, so 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 that's why we listen to the question that's being given to them. So listen to the question that's being given to you. So once you answer, well, so now we just gotta listen to the question. Well, that's important to listen to the question, and you might answer some of their questions, or some of the questions you might not be able to answer. So now, you answered all their questions. So now it says. So now it says if the customer. So it says what happens if the customer doesn't. They doesn't ex employee. So let's say a customer doesn't ask you a question. So it says if a customer doesn't ask employee a question or for assistance, typically nothing significant happens. The employees will likely just continue with their regular duties, assuming the customer doesn't need help at that moment. However, depending on the situation and business policy, it could potentially result in a missed opportunity to provide service and potentially impact sales if the customer had a question or needed guidance to make a purchase. So, key points to consider: the customer's perspective. The customer might simply be browsing, simply already know what they wanted, or feel comfortable navigating the store without assistance. Employees' responsibilities. Good customer service often involves proactively approaching customers to see if they need help or if they have an intimidated contract. So you might ask, can I help you with something? Potential downsides. Last sales. If the customer had a question that could lead to a purchase but doesn't ask, the business might miss out on the sale. Negative perception. In some cases, a customer might feel ignored or not valid if an employee doesn't approach them to offer assistance when needed. What an employee could do: observe customer behavior. Watch for signs that a customer might need help. looking confused or spending a long time on a product. Make friendly contact. This could be a substitute way to let a customer know you're available if they need anything. Proactive approach. If appropriate, politely ask if the customer needs any assistance, even if they haven't intimidated, or let's see, even if they haven't initiated. So even if they have initiated contact. So some customers might not need help with the product unless if you offer it to them, or unless they ask you for help. So sometimes customers can be nice and friendly, and sometimes customers can be nice and friendly, and some of them can get a little rude. So if the customer is rude to you, so it says, so if the customer is rude to you, doesn't offer, or doesn't so if the customer is rude to you, doesn't ask for help, and doesn't want, or if the customer is complaining about a product that they didn't want it, so the best course of action is to remain calm, professional, and try to de-escalate the situation by actively listening to their concerns. So you can try to listen to them, or you can try to help them as much as possible. If the rudeness continues or becomes threatening, you should inform your manager and seek their assistance to resolve the issue, potentially even asking them to take over the interaction with the customer. In extreme cases, if the customer is verbally abusive or poses a safety risk, you may need to voice security or law enforcement. So, key points to remember. Don't take it personally. Understand that the customer's rudeness is likely not directly at you personally, but might stem from a frustrating situation. Stay calm and professional. Maintain a polite and respectful demeanor, even if the customer is not. Active listening. Try to understand the customer's issue and address their concerns directly. Seek help from a manager. If you're unsure to resolve the situation, inform your supervisor who can intervene. Set boundaries. If the rudeness continues to be excessive or threatening, politely explain that you cannot continue the interaction until they behave appropriately. So, you shouldn't have to let them know that they should behave accordingly. I mean, that means I will have to go and get the manager, because that's not really something that you should really say to a customer. You can tell them that the customer is not acting accordingly, or could you please help this customer? But I'm not saying not to say nothing to the customer at all, but it's important to like be understanding to what the customer is saying and what their situation is. But I mean, you could say the interaction, you can't continue the interactions until they behave appropriately. I know. So I'm not saying don't help them, but it's good to have interactions interactions with the customers if needed. So now I'm up to this role right here. Wow, this is so long so far. So now when so if the customer was giving you problems at work, like if they start to get abusive or take in, or the rudeness continue to start, then yes. Or you can simply apologize to the customer. Says, I'm sorry. I'll see if I can get you the one that you wanted. Because sometimes some customers can be a little rude, sometimes. So, best regards is you don't come off aggressive or try to yell or lash out, because it's not gonna work that way. So yes, but you still be nice as much as possible. So I hope you like, subscribe, and comment down below on my YouTube video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for another video.